to the KDFL Dynasty Football Podcast. It's me, Brett Steele. Join me this week. It is the Zenful, Matt Smith.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hello. It is a beautiful Thursday morning here in the KDFL. The sun is shining. The glasses are back in the arms of the rightful owner. And the best part is Jonathan Detroit Haynes has the week off, so he cannot bring us down. All right. But let's first, KDFL week 8 has come and gone. The Zenful one, take it away and tell us what happened.
All right. We start out with the St. Albans Centers traveling to Marmette to face the Midnight Riders. Centers coming out strong. Kirk Cousins, 33 points on the day. But the Midnight Riders followed up. Baker Mayfield, again, having a strong performance, as you were there, I do believe.
I was.
23 points on the day. TJ Watt for the Centers, getting 24 points, dominating as always. Midnight Riders, some say the best running back in the league, Kyron Williams, scoring 23 points. And the Centers, great QB, as always. Very, very toxic conversation. Sam Darnold coming through 20 points. Midnight Riders gets a defensive performance by Evan Page Jr., 22 points. Close one. Both have high scoring points, but the Midnight Riders win this one 277 to 257.
All right. Next, we head to Wake Forest, where the 4-3 Lumberjacks are hosting the Evil Commission 6-1 Evil Empire. Jalen Hurts has an enormous game and leads all scorers with 36. Devon Achane welcomes back Tua with open arms as he can now be productive again with 27. George Kittle on tight end day. That will be a theme of the scores, as you will see. Scores 25. Jameis Winston, welcome to the starting role in Cleveland. He does what he does and scores 27 as the Lumberjacks traded for them this week. Jesse Bates with me in attendance and with me on that interception, literally, let's say 30 feet away from that interception. He leads all defensive players with 23. And Bijan Robinson, again, with me right there, a touchdown with 24 for the Lumberjacks. But it is not enough, as we do have a stat correction. Watch for later today on this one. But for right now, the Evil Empire sneak away with the win, winning 256 to 254.
All right. Next up, we got two bottom feeders in the league facing each other. The Nocatee Zen Masters travel to the Cross Vegas Gamblers. No fans in attendance. Nobody wants to watch these 2-5 teams play each other. Anyway, Zen Masters get strong performance. Trevor Lawrence had a couple of bad turnovers, but he still comes up with 24 fantasy points. So we're saying the league rookie of the year, Bo Nix, coming through with a massive 33 points for the Gamblers. Zen Masters, another great free agent, best free agent pickup for them. Jamie Sherwood getting 16 points. The Gamblers, talk about this later, but Tyrone Tracy coming through another big performance with 23 points. Zen Masters, not a whole lot of points here. Malik Neighbors getting 14 points, third leading scorer. And the Gamblers had the great Cortland Sutton with 17. Now, I want to point out George Pickens had 11 points for the Zen Masters. Could have had 50, ended up with 11. That's just how the career of George Pickens goes. Zen Masters lose very easily, 173 to 206. Gamblers pick up the third victory of the season.
All right. Next, we'll go to Dogtown, where the 6-1 Dobermans are hosting the 4-3 Roxland Renegades. Calvin Ridley, welcome to 2024 as he finally puts together, I believe it is his second strong week of the year with 23. And Kyle Pitts, did he score 2 touchdowns? Did he score 1 touchdown? I mean, facts are facts. We'll give him the 2 touchdowns, 25 points for him. Joe Mixon with 25 as well for the Renegades. Josh Allen continues his very stable 2024 campaign with 22. Jared MVP Goff, could it be, with 19 points of his own? And Alvin Kamara just continues to dominate as the RB1 in New Orleans with 18. The Dobermans win this one. Some say it wasn't as close as people had thought. Dobermans get the win 244 to 221.
All right, next up we got Hurricane traveling across county lines to go to Kanawha County to face the Kings. Wampus Cats getting great performance by QB1 in the league. Everyone's hearts. Justin Herbert getting 26 points. Kings, CD Lamb coming through big on Sunday Night Football with 41 points. Kyler Murray follows up for the Wampus Cats, 24 points. But another toxic or another debatable QB in the league, Brock Purdy coming through with 27 points for the Kings. Tucker Kraft, 17 points for the Wampus Cats. And my favorite player in the league, Bobby Okereke, with 27 points for the Kings.
Okereke.
The Kings put up a monster performance. About time, because they've sucked all year. Put up a huge performance, 327 points. The Wampus Cats get 237. Absolute blowout. Kings looking dominant.
I say that name so professionally, like I know that it's Okereke. The only reason I know is because Pat McAfee, when he drafts him, says Okereke, and he says it wrong. So I just know it's not that. So I say it the other way.
He's my favorite player in the league.
His favorite player. All right, let's go. The rivalry that the KDFL was built on. It's our week 8 game of the week. The 1-6 LP River Rats travel down here to Melbourne to take on the 3-4 Mega Powers. Jaden Daniels and his Hail Mary scores 23 for the River Rats. And you can forget about Gronk and Hernandez because it's all about Otten and McBride now, the new tight end duo taking the league by storm as they combine for 52 points. Jahmyr Gibbs, some say the Mega Powers maybe should have taken him at second in the year before last draft. We'll get into that a little bit later, but he scores 20. Zach Bond, Eagles linebacker, scores 20 of his own. And Devontae Smith caps off the scoring for the Mega Powers with 21. And the Mega Powers are facing the right opponent at the right time as they get the win, 231-196. And that is it for your KDFL Week 8 results. Matt, real quick, I need you to look at something. Are you able to click on Mr. Zach Bond? I've never seen this man before. I just clicked on him. That's clearly Jalen Hurts. I mean, it's Jalen Hurts. Is it not? It looks like Jalen Hurts. I've never seen it. It's not. No, it's a face. It's his face.
Not her. Maybe. I don't know.
It could just be the Eagles uniform and the goatee.
I think that's what it is.
But okay. Sometimes, little spoiler alert for the people, we don't always know every player we're about to say. So sometimes we click a link to get a little bit familiar, and I was taken aback by the picture. I was like, wait a minute, what's happening here? So there we go. All right, there's the KDFL Week 8 that was one of our better rundowns, I'd say now. All right, getting into the week. You mentioned that George Pickens could have had 3 touchdowns. Because you're not a prideful man and you don't like to point out others' flaws, and you're not wanting to point out when you've been screwed over, you also selfishly or unselfishly didn't point out that Malik Neighbors had a touchdown called back as well.
No, I know. No, he didn't. Well, he had 1 foot in. Did he have a second half touchdown that got called back?
I don't know. I just remember it was like everything you needed to have happen.
He had a great catch, and he only had 1 foot in. The other foot came out.
What?
I had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, and not one of them counted. And then Pickens at the end of the game, I guess I don't know why he didn't score on the second half. I guess he just I don't know. He lost his footing or something and went out of bounds. It looked like that should have been a touchdown.
That one was. Yeah, that one. I remember that one. Yeah.
Oh.
I will say, for all the grief I've been given about not knowing what MRI stands for and everything, I was because you should have seen me. I had the phone in my hand, Discord, take a deep breath and go, I do not want to admit that I didn't know that you can't tap the same foot twice and it not be a touchdown. And then I go to the old Twit box. And everybody, former NFL players, everyone, it was like when Dominic McNabb didn't know a game couldn't end in a tie, or could end in a tie. Where like, I can't believe you can't get 2 feet down. So it's very interesting.
They need to change that rule. Yeah, because
could a wide receiver really catch it and like tap tap? I don't think they could do that, right? I don't know if they're going out of bounds.
Yeah, that would be. I don't know, it'd be very talented. And then I saw something too. If one knee counts as both feet, why can 1 foot hitting twice not count as 2 feet?
And I've been against the shin thing. That seems like a new phenomenon that's happened lately. The shin being down. Like the last few years. I never like when we were in like 2003, 2004, I never remember hearing about a shin being down.
I am high on George Pickens now, especially though, because Russell Wilson, he looks
Russ
good. He looks good.
does looks capable.
Phil's just trash. He'll never play
He's not
again.
great.
Never playing again. Terrible.
Oh man,
All these people bashing Tomlin for benching Fields. Clearly looks like the right decision right now.
it
Still a
does.
lot of time, but I don't know.
I mean, the offense looks. It's not like world beating right now. It
No,
looks
but it's
better. It
good.
looks more
Good.
competent. It just does. It just does look
The
better. Like the eye
Steelers
test
have a
right now.
number 2 defense in the league. Yeah, as long as they just
Right.
have a
The eye
competent
test, you could
offense, they're
clearly
good to
see
go.
that the offense is more formidable. It's
Yeah.
pretty obvious. Um, okay, what else we got? What else we got?
Atlanta, Tampa, you went
Atlanta,
there?
Tampa. I was there. It was amazing. Almost blew it multiple times. I don't know if Pitt scored. You know that
Oh,
one.
he's a dumbass.
He is not smart.
God.
That would, because I was fully expecting. Because you imagine what's happening at what the stadium does. Like you're
Yeah,
at
oh,
the
yeah.
stadium, like they're showing it over and over on the big screen, and the fans are going crazy. And I'm like, this is happening. They just come back and say, call confirmed.
I do think it was very, very close and would have been hard to overturn it
Sure.
because you can't really tell where the football. It looks like it's right at the line.
Right.
He's still a dumbass. They should have overturned it just for him being stupid.
um, but it does seem like the thing with Atlanta. We'll get into it maybe when we talk about the teams, but you're not going to get Pitts, Bijan, and London. And one of them's going to suffer. And London's been the one that's dominated Tampa the last 3 times they played. This time they take him away, and it's Pitts and Bijan that have great games. Algier has an amazing game, had a good game, but he did fumble, which brought the game back into question. But I like what I see. The Bucks are banged up. I know you still are not giving up on the Saints. That's fine.
Now, I don't
Because
know.
here's what's going to happen. They're going to play the Panthers this week. They're going to go to 3-6. You're like, well, here's the 3 games back, especially if the Falcons lose to the Cowboys. You'd be like, well, yeah, we're just a couple games. So what else do we have? Cowboys. Let's speak of those Cowboys real quick. You think the season's over?
No, I don't know.
Well, if you say the season's on for the Saints and the season is over for the Cowboys, I was going to come through the screen.
That said, it's not over for the Cowboys, but it is over for the Saints. I don't know though. You did bring that up. Falcons play Cowboys this week,
right?
Yeah, I mean,
I can't let anybody say the Falcons see like if the Falcons are involved, it's never over. Nothing's over.
Can't be. I will say, out of the 3 teams between the Saints, the Raiders, and the Jags, the Saints are the team that has any chance at all. Jags are officially dead. Raiders are
the Jags' schedule is the problem because they hung in there versus the Packers, and I know it was Jordan Love.
4 of the 6 losses for the Jags are 15 total points.
But these next 4 games are the problem.
Did you hear that?
Vikings. Yeah.
4 of the 6, 15 total points. It's terrible for the Jags. Anyway,
the next 4 games, because this game was one of their harder ones, and they lose in close fashion. But Eagles, Vikings, Lions, bye week, Texans, which we don't know what the Texans will look back by then. Presumably, we'll have Nico back by then. But
just said they had to beat the Packers to have any.
But I mean, then you see the last 5. Like, if we could get to like 3 games under 500, like. You got the Titans, the Jets, the Raiders, the Titans, and the Colts. Like these are winnable. But
anyway, I do want to talk about one game.
All right.
Hold on. Okay. Well, we already talked about a little bit about. Well, hold on. First off, can you name the? Do you know the top 5 QBs in the league right now, fantasy wise?
Oh, fantasy?
Yeah.
Lamar.
Yeah.
Jaden.
Yep.
Baker.
Yep. One's obvious.
No, it's not so obvious. Oh, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
All right.
I don't know if you get the 5th one. Great year. Team sucks right now.
Great year, and the team sucks
right now. I think they can turn it around.
What AFC, NFC?
AFC.
It's not. It's not Bo Nix.
No. Number 9. Bo Nix is number 9.
I know Bo Nix is having a great year, but the team sucks in the AFC. Oh, Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
I'll just quickly
that
say
wasn't bad. I did pretty well right there.
Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Bo Nix. The guy that so many people hate, Joe Doss specifically, Roach, Trevor Lawrence is number 10 on the year, so they can suck it.
They can suck it.
Earmuffs. Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith, Jared Goff, Sam Darnold. I'm saying all these. That's top 14 of the top. That's the top 14 QBs. Who did I not name? Who did I not name?
Pat Mahomes.
No, well, Mahomes sucks in general. No, Mahomes.
Justin Herbert.
Nope. Justin Herbert's one of my favorites of all time too. He wasn't named either, right there. He's the greatest QB ever. That everybody has said he's the greatest guy ever now. Guy even traded away. Guy KDFL even traded away Patrick Mahomes for this guy.
What are you talking about?
The KDFL team traded away Patrick Mahomes because of how great this QB is.
Oh, my bad. I got crisscrossed. I was like, Justin Jefferson's not a top 15 QB.
No.
Oh, CJ Stroud.
Yeah, number 15 on the year.
Well, you know what they're going to say.
He has not had his bye week either.
Can't take away the weapons.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a 15-point game and an 8-point game.
He's only had 2 startable weeks, right? That you're happy?
Yeah, he's got 3, I guess. 21, 26, and 21 and 20.
Okay, what do you consider a happy game from a QB? 20 points?
Yeah,
I would probably say
13 last week. This week, 5 last week. Oh, what I was thinking about, the stat that made me think about this is Packers last week. He went 10 for 21 with 86 yards total in the whole game. 10 for 21 with 86 yards. Trevor Lawrence beat it on the final drive last week. He was like 7 for 8 with 87 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Against the Packers, which they ended up losing. But CJ Stroud's the greatest QB ever. Trevor Lawrence is overpaid and he's a bum. And CJ Stroud sucks. That's all I wanted to get to. Just that's it.
Like it.
Stroud's a bum. He's Justin Herbert territory. You guys will all agree with me in 4 or 5 years. So like
CJ Stroud or Brock Purdy in Dynasty. Take your pick. Which one you want?
I'm taking Purdy. Screw him.
I just have to. The fruit. The low-hanging fruit. Like I have to.
I mean, Purdy's had guys that are injured too, and he's still
that's a great point.
Top 10. He's top 10 QB. He's number 8.
Oh my God. The heartstrings, the whiplash.
Now Stephon Diggs is out. When's your guy coming back?
Next week, God willing.
God. Stroud might not get a contract extension if he keeps playing like this. he might. That QB class should be cursed. Anthony Richardson and Bryce Young already out. Stroud, he's ran between those two. He's the next one to get benched.
I got a couple things. I'm going to put you on the psychiatrist couch right now.
Sure.
Nate, what's your 3 favorite teams and their records again right now?
Oh, they're all great records. 2-6.
All of them? Okay.
Raiders, and beautiful Saints.
All right. So, and obviously we know that the Zen Masters are in somewhat of they're on the ascend, but it's early still.
I'm also 2-6.
Yeah, you are also 2-6. So it's rough right now. But I can already see what's going to happen. All right. Your love has to go. I know how Manny Smith operates. The love has to go somewhere. It can't go to the Giants. They're not doing a thing right now.
No.
And I know where it's going to go now. And I'm trying to get ahead of it so you don't get hurt again.
I don't know what you're talking.
I know what I'm talking about.
I was going to go with, and then they lost in the final second.
What are you talking about? Oh, the Bears? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, let's talk about. I need you to stop equating your worth of your fantasy quarterback, whether or not his team wins or loses.
I don't know. I think it does.
All right, you don't have to root for the guy to win.
It matters. Because
I say that when I like Dak Prescott. I'm like, come on, Cowboy.
That's the conversation with C.J. Stroud and Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has not consistently won. C.J. Stroud has one winning season. He's 1-0 in his winning seasons. That is a major difference in the way people talk. Because people are stupid.
It's true. The way people talk, yeah, but like you're judging if he's a fantasy good or not is different.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Go ahead. Hold on, one thing. This whole Jaden Daniels is awesome. Yeah, he does have to throw some good balls. That final play of the game, Jaden Daniels is so awesome. That was just shit throw. It was terrible. How it was
that
going,
was
my
part of
God,
my
Jaden
take. That
Daniels is
part of my take. They said it
legendary.
was a great Hail Mary throw. He's like, come on, all right,
It was
come on.
awful. It was
It
terrible.
was short for one.
Yeah, it was short.
Well, remember, was it? Okay, I don't know if it was Romo doing that game? Yeah, they were, right? Because it got flexed. Romo was doing that game.
Were,
I was driving back, so I'm only listening. He said they might put in Mariota for it.
Yeah, he did. He did
Because of
say
the
that.
ribs, man. There you can't get in there. Okay. All right.
Oh, he's
Now,
so awesome, though. So awesome.
what is one of your favorite quarterbacks in fantasy? You traded him away this year. I already see where this season's going to go. You're going to get
Sam
behind us.
Darnold, Skull Nation?
No, not Sam Darnold. You traded him away. I'm sorry. You traded him away in the offseason this year.
I traded a QB in the
Big
offseason.
trade. Huge trade with the Kings.
God. Lamar, the Ravens.
Lamar. And you're going to fall because now they just traded for Deontay Johnson. And you're going to start. I don't know. Your voice went out. It happens when you talk about Lamar. You get all choked up.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you sound good.
All right. You don't sound good for whatever reason.
Oh, it's with my fucking voice, Herb. All right. It's a little scratchy.
No, I can't hear you. It's very quiet. This is great. This is great.
Great podcasting. We're not cutting.
There we go.
No cuts.
All right.
That's the KDFL promise.
Turned off. That was the issue.
All right. Lamar. He just got Deontay Johnson. He's looking great. Best year ever as a passer.
Yeah.
It's going to happen to you again in the postseason.
What?
He's going to run into a legit defense, and that legit defense is going to end it.
He's got the monster of all men, Derrick Henry.
He does. He has all the weapons.
And when Derrick Henry goes down, he's got the great Justice Hill.
He does have Justice Hill, the Zen Master. He just had Deontay Johnson. Now, a couple things, and we'll hear about this when we talk about the actual teams. But I think this does hurt Zay Flowers. It can. Definitely hurts Rashad Bateman. If he was already a fringe starter at best, but that's over. Like, you're just by. Mm-hmm. Hurts Deontay Johnson some. Helps Lamar quite a bit.
Yeah.
Fantasy-wise. But the sneaky one it could help that I want to see what happens, Xavier Legette. Because we're getting, everybody's thinking about that one. We get later in the year where the rookie wide receivers are supposed to be getting, slowly better and better and better. Like this was the time of the year, for instance, just to bring it back to the mega powers when all things should revolve around the mega powers. This is the part of the year where I thought Keenan Allen would take a back seat and the Dunes they would start, show a little bit more and more. Hasn't happened. But anyway, so we'll see if we get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That maybe.
Anything.
What about your thoughts on the great John Flamingo? He's had 0 the past 2 weeks.
I think about him the same way I think about what's the daggone Bronco wide receiver?
Bronco? Who? Troy Franklin?
No. What was the wide receiver? See, this is already sad. He's a gambler, I believe. Am I completely wrong here?
I don't
know. The Bronco wide receiver that didn't do anything he was supposed to be doing. Hold on. Marvin Mims. I knew I wasn't crazy.
Wow.
I think about him and Mingo in the same exact thought process. One final thought. When we do KDFL, we're just going to do what's a player you were going to watch in this game. I don't care about the over-under stuff because me and you, whatever. But because we tend to get off on tangents on this side of the conversation more. But I have a theory I'm building right now. Okay, I think that we may be, as maybe just this specific league. I don't know about the community, the fantasy as a whole. I think that we may start being, we may have started being. It was freaking hard to say for whatever reason. Low on Shador Sanders when we should not be, and I think it's because we hate the Dion situation. And
I'm not low on him.
I'm watching, dude, and I'm getting Jaden Daniels last year vibes right now.
I mean, one of my Raiders fans, one of my 3 games. You can look back in Discord, and I've been saying the Raiders need a tank for Shador, which I think it's already a done deal. I'm pretty sure he's already signed with Mark Davis. I think it's official. Like,
If
it's
that
breaking news
happens,
here. I think it. I
I'm
think it
not
is.
screwing you. I'm not screwing you. But if that happens, fellas, you can move heaven and earth. The Zen Masters will move heaven and earth to
I don't
get
think I
that stack
will.
with Brock Bowers. Yes, he will.
No. But
Yes,
what
he
I
will.
got 3 QB. Well, I
It
don't know.
doesn't matter.
We'll see who's up there because Drake May's going to come down.
Exactly. It
They're going to
doesn't matter.
see. They're going to see. I mean, who's all the crappy teams don't have number one picks anyway.
yes,
So
yes.
I don't even know who the teams are leading right now for the draft odds.
But yeah, I think the situation, people are tired of it with Dion and stuff. Now it could be the offenses that they're or the defenses they're playing, he's able to light up. I think he looks a little small, like his actual size.
Yeah.
But I see the plays, dude. He is making. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm feeling like
Dion
Jay Daniels from last year right now.
Dion might even take over AP's head coaching job too. I'm just
I mean, dang, I didn't think about that. That's not the craziest thing. I don't know what would happen, but I mean, I mean, AP's seat's not exactly safe. I wouldn't say, but
no, the Raiders should have beat the Chiefs. The Raiders should have beat the Chiefs if they had competent coaching. They should have definitely beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, am I wrong on that sense? You don't think that people are starting to sour on him? I feel like people are tired of it.
I don't know. I mean, it's just
and we're not giving like Shador the respect. Like it's almost like this is gonna be a great time. People gonna love this. It's like the reverse Bronny. It's like the reverse Bronny to me.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's not getting the attention and stuff.
Right. I don't know. What do you say? Who I think what?
I didn't know if you were talking about AP or Dion. People are souring. AP is who you're talking about, right?
No, I think people are souring on the Shador Dion, the Colorado, because once he leaves, I think Colorado is going to fall apart, and Dion it's going to end badly, and he's going to go somewhere else. Maybe not, but that's because Travis Hunter leaves too, and that's going to be
right.
It's going to be an ugly breakup, I think. But
yeah, Dion would definitely go somewhere else.
And AP souring. I think. I mean, I don't know because I don't know. You know more about that than I do.
They're just not making the right calls. I also think Getzy sucks.
Crucial for a coach.
Getzy sucks. Press Taylor sucks. How do these guys get jobs?
I don't understand how Getzy got it. I mean, the whole thing was the Bears' offense was terrible. Like, I never understand that. All right. Anything else? That's just a thought I had. Anything else on NFL side?
Let me just check the scores real fast. I don't think that I'm going to see. Hold on. No, I mean the Lions dominated 52-14. I didn't see any of it really though.
I did not see much. I just saw the score continuing to go. By the way, props to you. I mean, you don't have to drive as far as I do to the stadium. It's exhausting. Live games.
Oh yeah, it is exhausting.
It's freaking exhausting.
So exhausting. You gotta get there early and everything. And
yeah.
All right, so I have a question. Looking at the standings in the leagues, I'm just looking at crappy teams you think can make the playoffs. Dolphins are 2-5. I think they still got a chance.
Yeah.
2-5 Dolphins. Although they just lost, which is crazy because they were winning like 27-18.
Yeah, I did not expect that loss.
Bengals are 3-5. They still got a shot.
They do.
Browns 2-6, dead with James.
Yeah.
I think they're dead too.
Well, also lost Cooper. Like they don't have.
Jets are 2-6, officially dead.
Dead. Yeah.
Officially.
I think yes, because of I don't think it's a healthy. It's an interim coach.
Cowboys 3-4. We just talked about them.
I love them too much.
Everybody in the NFC West is 4-4. The Rams are 3-4. That's a toss up. Everybody in the NFC North got winning records. Saints 2-6. They officially dead, according to you.
No, because the Falcons exist.
Falcons 5-3. I think the Bucs.
If they were the Bills, if the Falcons were the Bills, which what a call right there to say the Bills. If the Falcons were the Ravens, if the Falcons were the Texans, if any of these teams with similar leads, I would say dead. No, it's the Falcons.
Yeah.
Falcons have a negative point differential, by the way. They've given up one more point than they've scored. The hell? Okay. Keep going.
That's it, pretty much.
You don't consider the Bucs. Obviously, the Bucs aren't dead, but their schedule is still
They're 4 and
This
4.
our beginning schedule is what their schedule is now because they just lost to the Falcons. They just lost to the Ravens. They got lucky. They got to play the Saints in New Orleans with Rattler instead.
Yeah.
And then they got the Chiefs now Monday Night Football. Then the Niners, and then it eases up. Giants, Panthers, Raiders, whatever. But they have a rough stretch right here.
Lose them all.
I like that.
I think they're. If y'all were talking last week, Stafford getting traded. I think the Rams can win the division.
I think so too.
Yeah, like
hey, we're supposed to beat the Vikings. Man, hold on, it's getting very. It must be some storm clouds this Thursday morning. It's getting pretty dark. Hold
on. I guess so.
We're not out of hurricane season yet. You never know when those dark clouds are going to roll in. God, Buzz.
It's still sunny out here.
Enjoy my morning. All right.
Sun's coming up out here. It's all good.
Yeah, we're good. All right, let's flip it. Let's go ahead and share the screen. Before we share the screen,
before we flip it, so we talked about the 3 trades quickly. One completely pointless trade between the Gamblers and the Renegades.
It's never pointless.
Gamblers traded away Derwin James. I actually looked at his stats earlier today. I'm like, completely pointless trade.
It's not pointless.
Derwin James to the Renegades for Ray Davis, which Ray Davis could. I mean, he has looked good. He's also
share your favorite thing about Ray Davis. I know you want to flex the knowledge muscles. Get it out there.
He's a 30-year-old rookie running back. He's actually almost 25, but he is very.
He's older than who?
James Cook.
Yeah.
So, Mega Powers, big trade here. Mega Powers trade away 2025 first to the Renegades for Tua, which the Renegades have been in love with Tua non-nation ever since I've known the guy. So very shocking for him to get rid of him and James Conner, which I think James Conner gets traded every single year in this league, at least for the past 5 years. And then the Kings, they saw the end of the Sunday Night Football game with the controversy thing, and they immediately traded for Nick Bosa and David Njoku for his brother Joey Bosa. Jordan Addison could be a good thing for the Gamblers. Jordan and a 2025 third because the Kings just love to throw those third round.
They love them
in trades.
Okay. All right, we don't have to break down Derwin James for Ray. It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah.
You get stronger defensively, and you get Derwin James is older. Gamblers get younger, but they get an older running back. A nice handcuff to James Cook. That's good. That's a good pro gambler move and pro renegade move to get better defensive. My trade. Here's the thing: the Renegades did not give up a starter in this deal for them. They gave me 2 starters, but they did not give up a starter for them. So that's why and they get a first in the deal. From my side, I knew that Anthony Richardson was on a very short leash, and the benching just so happened to happen. Let's call it Tuesday afternoon, 2 days ago now. The benching happened, so good timing for to bring in Tua. Let's see. Our quarterback history is Deshaun Watson, Trey Lance, Anthony Richardson. So much stability that you definitely want to bring in the quarterback that is one standard hit away, you think, from never playing again. So that's fun. James Conner, the reason behind him, I think the Cardinals, yes, he's 30. I think the Cardinals are dumb enough they're the franchise that will extend a 30-year-old running back and give him a year or 2 more.
You could almost.
I don't expect it, but I hope. He's just for this year in my head, but it's a bonus if he gives me at least 1 more.
Yeah, I mean, if Tua, I actually put this in the trade calculator, it was a lot closer than I thought it was. Because I almost think, if Tua stays healthy, you trade away a late first, by the way. It's for the Dobermans, who are currently 7-1.
All right.
You trade away a late 2025 first for Tua. I feel like it's a fair trade if Tua stays healthy. That's a big if. It's Tua, 1 more hit, he could be out of the league.
Right.
But I think he's stubborn and he's going to keep playing no matter what. He will will out, and I don't see him quitting.
But the thing is, he also is not he's not some top 5 upside franchise salary or dynasty QB. He doesn't light it up on fire. He has good games, but he doesn't his best season. I think was QB9. I think I looked at it right on Sleeper. I think it was best season was QB9.
Really healthy season.
Right, probably, and with McDaniel. There's 2 parts to that.
Yeah.
You got McDaniel and you got to stay healthy. So
yeah,
we'll see. I was surprised that the Kings getting rid of Addison, but I have inside sources that say Addison will never be a wide receiver one, so we make the move off of it now when we can still get the most out of him. Here in Melbourne, we are obsessed with wide receiver twos, as everybody knows. That's all my team has, besides Nico now. Love a good wide receiver two. So
I'm obsessed with running back threes. So
it's checkmates.
RB threes on my team.
What a checkmate.
Oh, hold on. Did I miss the other trade? I think that happened this week too. Zach
Oh.
Charbonnet. Was that this week?
Oh yeah! Oh my God! How can we forget?
It's been a long week. A lot of trades. It's like the
Oh,
trade.
I think it already happened. I don't know if the
think it
podcast. Well,
It
because the
didn't
game has started on Sunday, but the podcast hadn't happened yet, or the podcast had already happened. That's what it was.
Charbonnet luckily got a late touchdown to save a little grace. But yeah, Jameis. I don't know. I could have held out maybe for Jameis, but he could have also.
I mean, he played the Ravens, which the Ravens, everybody thinks it's a great defense because it's the Ravens and it's the jerseys that look like a great defense. It's a good run D. You can throw on the Ravens all day long, and they did.
Yeah, I was listening to that earlier, actually.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not knocking. I think Jameis is perfect for fantasy because you know me. I don't think we get penalized nearly enough for interceptions, and he slings it. So screw it. Get those points. Get those points.
I think Deshaun Watson is never playing again, though. I don't know how they figured the money out, but I can see him never playing again.
It's such a big cap hit. That's the only thing. I don't know. If it was a normal contract, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
It's just, I don't know. Maybe especially if the Browns keep winning. The Browns keep winning. There's no way he's starting for them next year. And then who takes him on?
How many drafts was Watson behind Jameis? One? Maybe that many. Two at most. Let's see. I keep that thing on me here. The KDFL spreadsheet. Yeah, so I'm right. No, he's two drafts behind. Yeah. Winston was 2015, Watson was 2017.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So all right. Let's switch over KDFL, throw up the results on the big board here, and you can see that we went, let's see, Detroit 3-3 continues his amazing season. He is somehow 23-25 in picking fantasy games. Truly tremendous. Matt at 5-1. His only miss was the Renegades and the Dobermans, even because he picked against himself in the Gamblers.
Right.
I went 4-2, missing on the Zen Masters and the Renegades as well. Season standings: Detroit 23-25. Matt and I are both tied at 30-18. NFL picks. Oh, good Lord. Detroit 1-1. He moves to 9-5. You are 7-7, went 1-1 as well. And your boy is really struggling here. Another 2 miss week, and I fall to 4-10 on the season in NFL picks. All right, back to us now, and let's go ahead and share. Let me know when you're good and can see the beautiful breakdown. All right, first up, let's go with Kanawha County, where the 3-5 Sinners are being hosted by the 5-3 Kings. I cannot believe this. We say this every morning or every week. There's a game getting ready to kick off in roughly 10 hours, and people still haven't set their lineup. It's absolutely absurd. You got to get Diggs out of there. You've known he's had a broken leg for 2 days now. You knew he wasn't playing. But whatever. It's the Sinner way, I suppose. Matt, give me TJ Watt's been on bye. I mean, it's not like he just played last night. He's been on bye forever now. Take care of your lineup. That's 3-5 mentality right there. This poor lineup construction. Matt, give me a matchup on each side, player matchup that you're interested in this scene.
All right, for the Sinners, Tony Pollard against the Patriots. Pollard's running back 21 on the year. I've done a little research. It's not been consistent this year, though. He's got 2 busts, 1 boom. And I'm sticking with the running back situation for the Kings. Breece Hall is surprisingly number 7 on the year, but he has been very inconsistent. He has 3 busts on the year, but also 3 booms. which is a terrible fantasy football player to have whenever you're trying to win games. You need consistency, and neither one of these guys have been that consistent. Although Pollard has been better this year than I was expecting, but I don't know what's the status of who's their QB this coming week. I think that's
Still Mason,
really
I think.
screwed them. It's still Mason, so
Yeah. Complete guess.
I don't know how good they can do. But
all right, give me a pick.
A pick of what?
Sinners or the Kings?
Oh, good call. Kings, one of this. Sinners aren't winning.
Right.
Pick them once this year, never again.
Yeah, I love that every week I do this format, and every week it's never the same as the week as before. So you guys always have to forgive Matt and Detroit when we go through this because they never know. Look at the fancy water. What is that?
It is.
That's absurd.
Costco special.
That's the most knockety crap I've ever seen, dude.
Glass bottle and all. The glass bottle.
My God, think of the Dolphins.
And knock you out.
Think of the Manatees.
I'm pretty sure that the glass is better for them than plastic.
I think it is too. I'm talking about my accent.
I'm going for the Manatees.
Yeah, for the Manatees. All right. Let me write the fancy. Okay. All right. I'm looking at this. Cousins has had 2 big games, but they were both against the Bucks. So I want to see if he could do it against the Cowboys, which the defense has not been what those fans in Dallas expected it to be. So we'll see if he can surpass that 20.5 projection. That's pretty lofty for him so far this year. But and on the King side, is Carr playing? Carr's back.
Yeah,
right?
He should be back.
He should be back, which means he gets the Panthers defense, which means Olave should be able to right his season a little bit here. So I'm interested in that as well. We flip over to Detroit. Detroit gave us little comments this time with his picks. He has the Kings over the Sinners, and it says this will probably put a nail in the coffin for the Sinners' playoff chances. The Sinners would fall to 3-6, and you're never out of it in the KDFL until you're out of it. But 3-6 would be a tough hole to climb out of. And for that reason, I will also pick the Kings getting the win over the Sinners. All right, next, let's go to Elkview, where Detroit's 1-7 River Rats are hosting the 3-5 Gamblers. Matt, take it away with your couple matchups as well as your pick.
All right, I got 2 matchups this week. I got 2 rookies for each. Well, rookie for each team. Gamblers.
Totally went out of order there, by the way. Good call, good catch.
Yeah,
just gonna roll with it. That's my bad.
No, sir.
Keep going.
Gamblers. Tyrone Tracy. He's looking great whenever he's getting the opportunity. I thought Singletary was injured again last night, but he actually came and played. So did Tracy start? I think Tracy started the game. Okay, yeah, he looked pretty dominant too. Which I looked, and he was taking 1 pick before I got to pick in the 3rd round because I know he was on my board. I was like, damn it, pick 35. Braylon Allen picked 36 this year. Anyway, see how Tyrone Tracy does if he can keep it up against the Commanders. And then another rookie that's starting to do really well for the River Rats is Keon Coleman. Last 2 weeks, 17 and 18 points. He's going up against the Dolphins. See if he can keep it up. Seems like he's done better with the Amari Cooper addition. With that said, I mean, it would be amazing if the Gamblers would set their damn lineup. It's currently showing 183, but they
clock is ticking.
Good God. Like, I mean, they got Moss. I don't even know. I have no clue what his projections is.
I mean, they just love to push it right to the limit.
He's got 4 guys that are not playing right now. So I would think the projections will be close. Just because the way this year has gone for the Elk Creek River Rats, I am picking the Cross Vegas Gamblers to get the
All right. Look at this matchup on the Gambler side. Cortland Sutton has not had an amazing year, as we know. Wide receiver 36. He's coming off a good week though against Carolina with 17. It seems like Bo Nix is getting into his element, so I want to see if Cortland Sutton can keep it going. We just talked about the Ravens defense being the pass funnel. You can imagine that the Broncos may be trailing some in this game, so that could really help them. And then with Jordan Love may not be playing. I know what I want to see. Evan Ingram of those Jags with Christian Kirk out of there. Evan Ingram might get more and more attention from Trevor Lawrence. so he could be in for a humongous game as well. I want to see how that plays out. And we're reading the comments about the River Rats and the Gamblers. It says here, I wish nothing but the best for the Gamblers, nothing but respect and love, and certainly no physical harm would ever be wished upon this team. But sadly, I have to pick my River Rats to get the win over the Gamblers. Touching words from Jonathan Detroit Haynes. You would never, I mean, if I could change, you can change type deal right there. You love to see it from the River Rats. I will agree with them in the spirit of unity. I will go with the River Rats as well to get the win. All right, next, the game that was supposed to be second, but my hosting skills are not the greatest. We're going to go to Dogtown. Let's just say this real quick. We're getting these games. There are season's starting to get serious now. Like we're getting later, second half of the season. This league is full of 3-5, 4-4, and 5-3 teams. So every game is starting to get right. It almost has that college football feel. Like every game is starting to get ratcheted up, starting to really matter. This is certainly one of them. The 4-4 Mega Powers going to Dogtown to take on the 7-1 Dobermans. Tightest spread, I think, of the week. It's only a 0.6 spread. Matt, take it away.
Yep. So the thing I was looking at this matchup is the tight end matchups. You got Trey McBride going against the Bears, though. Trey McBride has been dominant for the most part this year. He is tight end number 3, but he's been awesome. He's been awesome in certain games. I think he has had a couple misses, though. And then what'd you say?
He started out slow for sure.
And then
no touchdowns yet, by the way.
What?
He has one touchdown, but it was a tip or a fumble that he dove on in the end zone. No touchdowns outside of that, which is pretty.
The other one was Dallas Goedert. He's been out the past 2 games. I'm assuming he's back this week. Questionable. He's going against the sorry-ass Jags defense, so could be ugly in Philly this week, and Goddard could score a lot. Based on I made all my notes, and I didn't actually make my picks.
I love it.
My picks are live. I am going to go. I got to go with. I think I've been going against them too much, and that's probably why we're tied. I'm going with the Dogtown Dobermans.
Right.
Keep it up.
I'm looking at this right now. Offensively, I like some of my matchups. I love a lot of his matchups, which is a problem right now. I love Kamara getting Carolina. And also with Anthony Richardson benching, Josh Downs and Michael Pittman are going to be they're going to get a huge increase. I think we noted that ESPN already moved their projections up. Yeah, Josh Downs was around like 10 or 11 before, now he's 15. Michael Pittman was around 10 before, now he's 13. So that wide receiver duo and Alvin Kamara, very, very, very worried about that. Even Joe Burrow getting Vegas. Yikes. I'm doing the roster read right now. I didn't mean to do that. On the Mega Power side, Drake London against Dallas. I'm hoping that he gets back in his big scoring ways after he was, kind of taken out of it last week. My question, I keep not starting, and I confided in the Kings owner about this late Sunday night. We're just going a little caveat here because we have the power to do this with our own teams. I keep not starting Khalil Shakir, and he keeps putting up big numbers, 13, 11, 19, 10, 3.9, very scary, 14, 20. And I just keep not doing it. But they're going to have Josh Allen. So it could be like a nice little hedge thing going on. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I haven't decided on what to do with that. I also don't know who to set if I bring in.
I don't know.
So interesting part there. Detroit has picked. Again, I got to order the Doberman Stadium. What?
Is Kate Otten? Is he going to be the greatest player ever now?
They just have no one else. And the Kansas City Chiefs are terrible against tight ends.
Yeah.
They're awful against tight ends. They're good against the running game, awful against tight ends. River Rats pick the Dobermans, or Detroit picks the Dobermans. In his true fashion, when you make a deal for Tua to enhance your playoff chances, we have to question your sanity. Of course, the man was unaware that 2 days ago Anthony Richardson got benched. In true River Rat fashion, this is why Mr. Sean Garr has equal ownership stake of the Elkview River Rats. But he picked the Dobermans. Just for my own pride, I have to roll with the Mega Powers haven't picked against us yet. So we'll roll with this again. This would be the win of the season in Melbourne if we're able to somehow pull it off. All right, next. Let's go to the Lumberjacks. I am all sorts of out of order after I messed up that one daggone thing right there. Okay. I believe we're back on pace now since we already did Gamblers and Friends. My God. What a mental pretzel I could put myself in. All right. The 4-4 Midnight Riders traveling to Wake Forest to take on the 4-4 Lumberjacks. Take it away.
All right. Close matchup here. 6-point spread. This wide receiver matchup that I'm looking at. Devontae Adams. The guy's got to do something. He's done nothing so far for the Jets. He took off 3 weeks for the Raiders. He's got to be super far down there. He's wide receiver 61 on the year. Projected 13 points. Thursday night game. You never know how those turn out. I think he's got to do better. He's got to do better. And then for the Lumberjacks, is Puka officially back? I know he looked good last Thursday night. What did he have last week? He had 18 points last week, 7 catches, 106 yards. Puka officially back. I think those two could be two crucial things on who determines this victory. And the Lumberjacks. People were saying all year, or at the beginning of this year, the Lumberjacks were good last year, but they didn't have QBs. They had no QBs. Now they have the great duo of Jameis Winston and Joe Flacco starting QBs. And I mean, the crazy thing is, the year 2024, that could be two of the stronger QB duos on our teams. But with that, Midnight Riders are winning. Lumberjacks losing.
I feel like everybody kind of wrote off the Lumberjacks because of the QB situation, and that is seemingly fixed right now. Not fit. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to overstate it, but
for this year,
you're never gonna. Yeah, you're never gonna. I mean, God willing, you're probably not going to see like an 8 to 10 point performance from the QB position.
Right.
I mean, it can always happen, but consistently, like you would having to throw Eckler out there in that spot or something like that. Yeah. Well, I can still hear you. You're frozen right now, looking off very intently. Now you're back. There we go. This is the best podcast on the planet.
Flacco, you're not going to see something is the last thing I heard.
You're not going to see like 8-point games out of them, more than likely. Yeah. But you're not going to see like what you would get like if you have Eckler in that spot, in that second OP spot like they were doing. Looking at these specific matchups, Kyren Williams against the Seahawks. Seahawks, the run defense has not been very good. I was nervous about Kyren Williams coming into the season. I thought he'd get too much workload and get banged up. Part of the reason why the Mega Powers drafted Blake Corum when we did. But he has been phenomenal, so I look for that to continue. And then we'll stay at the running backs on the Lumberjack side with Devon Achane. Tua is back, and he finally looked better. He got utilized more. He's not getting loaded boxes like he was. So we'll see if that can continue as well. Detroit with some raving comments about this matchup here. He is going with the upset somewhat and going to go with the Lumberjacks over the Midnight Riders with these comments. Marmette is starting 4 wide receivers this week. They are 45th, 60th, 61st, and 81st ranked fantasy wide receivers so far this season. So bad, I even thought I was looking at the River Rats team for a second. So he does a little cell phone to try to take the sting off. But he is picking for the upset of the Lumberjacks over the Midnight Riders. But I am staying with the Marmette Midnight Riders getting the win. So Detroit on the island on that one. You're back. Hey, nobody knows. Nobody knows you were frozen. Don't mention it.
I didn't know I was frozen. Oh, anyway.
Oh, okay.
No, I wasn't frozen. I went on a side.
You were in deep thought then. When people go back and watch that, you do not move. You don't even blink for 30 seconds at the end of my picking that game.
What you probably know this for one reason. What year was Joe Flacco drafted?
Joe Flacco was drafted, I want to say, it was not 2008?
2008 with Matt Ryan.
Yes.
So I'll just want to point out a few other greats drafted in 2008. Matt Ryan, Darren McFadden for the Raiders, 4th overall. Jared Mayo, current head coach for the New England Patriots. Jonathan Stewart. Joe Flacco was pick 18. Aqib Talib. Chris Johnson, pick 24.
How about it?
Joe Flacco, absolute legend. Jordy Nelson, 2nd round.
Love it. Future Jets wide receiver, Jordy Nelson.
Matt Forte, Deshaun Jackson, Ray Rice. Ray Rice was
Ray
drafted
Rice.
too.
We took him that year in our redraft. Yeah.
Jamal Charles. I mean, it just seems like a lifetime ago that Joe Flacco was drafted, and now he is starting for the Lumberjacks.
Absolutely. Tremendous. All right.
I mean, he was out of the league. He was out of. Was he only out of the league for one? I can't remember.
I think so. I don't know. I don't know the transition from the Ravens to the Jets.
Yeah,
or those Broncos. People forget the Broncos are in there.
Yeah, I don't.
I forget all about Broncos Flacco.
It seems like he disappeared for like 7 years.
Yeah,
and now he's going to win the Super Bowl.
Theme of the show, man. Situation matters way more than we ever give it credit for. All right, let's go.
Anthony Richardson.
And that's your hey. Still early. All right, let's go down to Fancy Nocatee, where the 4-4 Renegades are being hosted by your beautiful 2-6 Zen Masters.
2-6. That stat correction just really derailed my season. And
the guys gave up hope.
They got the Lumberjacks all in. The thing I want to see for the Renegades is Jonathan Taylor. I think this is the first game he's actually playing with Joe Flacco this year, because he was injured. I think he was injured the times that Flacco was playing earlier. I think Taylor will be better with Flacco. I don't know why. That's my brain feels, because Flacco will be able to air it out some. Taylor should get a little bit easier runs. So I can see Jonathan Taylor going off. It is against the Vikings though, so I don't know, tough matchup. And then I didn't even list anybody for the Zen Masters. They all completely let me down last week. 180 points. I got nothing on the Zen Masters. I will say the Renegades easily win this game.
All right. I'm looking at this for the first time when we do these breakdowns. I'm going to call it a bench player for the Renegades that I'm interested in watching. And that is what we talked about earlier, Mr. Xavier Legette. Let's see what he does without Deontay Johnson. He's not in the lineup for the Renegades, but I'm sure the Renegades will be watching that very closely. And for the Zen Masters, man, give me more Roschon Johnson. I'm tired of the Bears mismanaging this guy. He's always, I can't believe he gave it to a fullback at the goal line instead of just letting Roschon Johnson just power it in. Huge mistake. You got to think like Eberflus. If the Bears don't make the playoffs, Eberflus has got to be done. And then we'll talk about this later. I think you might have a surprise candidate for the Ben Johnson sweepstakes if that happens, which is not going to be great. I think
they make the playoffs though, and then they're stuck with the guy for a while. I'll be surprised if they don't.
Look, they have a hard winter.
I guess the NFC North they're all good. So
it's not just that though; it's that their schedule ramps up after this. Like, because they got Arizona and then Patriots. Okay, that's whatever. Now here we go. Packers, Vikings, Lions, Niners, Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, and Packers. They're not gonna be favored in one of those.
I don't know. They would probably be favored in one of those NFC.
Maybe the Seahawks game at home, week 17. But by then you might know.
I'm telling you, the Jags could have easily beaten the Packers.
Okay, Packers have no Jordan Love. But
people
Jordan
need
Love
to get off the Packers wagon. Like, they act like they're the greatest team ever right now. They're fine, but
I mean, they're not going to be favored. Unless Jordan Love's not playing.
The whole Jordan Love hype is worse than CJ Stroud hype. CJ Stroud's actually done a full season. Jordan Love has played 8 good games, and the guy makes $250 million. Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
I don't even know how. I didn't even see him get injured on Sunday, but the dude was gone. Got to watch Malik. Yeah. It was awesome.
Anyway. Malik. Let's look at this. Detroit says, I think this game is going to be super close. Renegades are going to hold on and win by less than 10, but he is going with the Renegades. I will do that as well. I stay picking the Renegades this season. It's like 4 weeks in a row I picked them.
I'll say if I have any chance at all, my Giants wide receiver duos need to do great against the Commanders.
Wandale's still hanging in that top 24.
Yeah, yes, he is.
He will not give it up.
If I could just get those damn running backs, that'd be all right.
I can't quit you, Wandale.
Running backs are so bad. So bad.
All right. Here we go. Finally, it is our week 9 game of the week. And the Wampus Cats make their first appearance in the game of the weeks for the 2024 season. So shout out to them. They're 4-4, traveling to the South Hills Evil Empire at 7-1. Take it away, man.
All right, I got two guys for you. Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley are both playing. Again, I mentioned it earlier, the terrible Jaguars defense. I think both of them could have monster games. Could be huge. So we'll see how those two pan out. And then for the Wampus Cats, you have the Baltimore Ravens, Derrick Henry, and Mark Andrews going against the Broncos. And the Broncos I guess you can say they're good this year. See how that goes. The matchup for the Eagles seems a lot better. Based on that, I am going with the Evil Empire.
Okay. My matchups I'm looking at. One of the little hiccups in trading for James Conner is that the Cardinals do get the Bears this week, and then it's not going to be a good start for that Cardinals offense. But I do want to see if Kyler can keep that connection going with Trey McBride, with Marvin Harrison. Again, if Marvin Harrison wasn't drafted so high in redraft, you'd be happy with his season. If you weren't seeing like these Malik Neighbors highlights, like he's had a good season. He got off to a slower start, but Marvin Harrison is having a very strong rookie season. I want to see if Kyler can keep that up with them. In the South Hill side, Cooper Kupp. Let's see. I mean, he came back healthy last week. Puka outshined him, but he still had a strong game. But I want to see if he can light up that Seahawks secondary, which seemingly has gotten better as the season as they've gotten healthier. It's gotten better. So we'll see what we get out of Cooper Kupp. Let's go to what Detroit's all-knowing self says. He says, on paper, the Empire should win this game. However, I have a feeling the Wampus Cats are going to get like a 30-point game from Roquan Smith, have a couple of skill players play out of their mind. The Brown brothers, ironically not related at all, since one is actually Amon-Ra St. Brown and A.J. Brown, are going to carry them to a victory. So he is going Wampus Cats over Evil Empire. I am sticking with the Evil Empire getting the win. All right. Let's stop sharing here and wrap up this beautiful episode. As always, ours go way longer than what I anticipate them going.
Yeah, how long's it been?
We're at an hour right now. A little bit over an hour.
Can you still see me?
I can still see you. You went from hamburger to hot dog stuff. Back to hamburger. Do you think they still teach that?
Am I there?
You're here. I can see you I can hear you just frozen. I love it. The greatest podcast.
What happened?
There we are.
All right.
Do you think they still teach that in schools? Hot dog, hamburger, folding, paper?
I didn't hear what you were saying. Probably.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how else you would explain it.
All right. Give me your picks, your NFL picks, and if you have a quote or whatever.
My computer just restarted and my screen would play.
You want me to tell you your picks?
I had a great Zen quote too. Oh. I'm very disappointed that it's gone. It's not here. It sucks. And I think it's a long restart too. So yeah, go ahead with my picks.
Your NFL picks. The Jets make no sense, he says, to be favored by 2 over the Texans. So he takes the Jets over the Texans, giving the 2 points. And then a popular pick this week, the game as a whole, the Cowboys and Falcons, you are going over 52.5. Detroit has taken Minnesota -5 versus the Colts with Joe Flacco. That line moved from 6 to 5, so we'll give Detroit the 5 points on that. And he is taking the other side of the Falcons and Cowboys at under 52.5. I am a big believer in the LA Rams. I am not a big believer in the Seahawks, so let me get the Rams -1.5. And then in the spirit of the Mega Powers making a QB trade that they very rarely do, we are going to get in that Buffalo-Miami game. We're going to take the over 50 on that. Now, that's it for this episode. And next week we will be here with KDFL Week 9 results and Week 10 predictions. How close are we to getting to all 3 of us?
Football should be good.
It's almost right. A week more at most, probably.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yes.
Should be.
All right. So if not next week, the week after, you will have the beautiful triumphant of the Zenful one and Jonathan Detroit. So let's wrap that up. as a sign off, because I always screw up the sign off, I just said Joel's names right before I say him again. But for this info, Matt Smith, for Jonathan Detroit Haynes, I'm Red Seal, and we will see you right here next week on the KDFL Dynasty Football Podcast.